And we are live. Welcome back to Takes by Fans. Today is June 16th, 2025. I'm your host, Saint Nick, and we got a great show for you today. Alrighty, well, Game 5 of the NBA Finals is on tonight. So we'll look at the live line, see if there's any disrespectful movement. We'll check out some prop bets quickly to see if anything is kind of striking out to us, if anything is looking good to us, jumping off the screen. We'll talk about all of that as well. We've got the Kevin Durant news to talk about. Where is he going? Once again, I mean, they're just trying to push this Timberwolves narrative. It's not happening. The league wants it. ESPN wants it. It's not happening. And we'll tell you why, where he's going. We've got some NFL news and stories to talk about as well. So let's just jump right into it. Now, before we even start with anything, I do want to start with three things here, actually. First one up, Shohei Ohtani, he's back. And not just batting, folks, he's on the mound tonight. How crazy. They win the World Series without him pitching. He recovers from that little injury he had in his shoulder, feeling good. And now this Dodgers team is trying to unveil their final form. So Ohtani on the mound tonight, and we get good value? I mean, how can we not bet this, folks, right? Now, we are hearing that he's going to be playing 2 innings. 2 innings. He's not going to be pitching the whole game or most of the game. No. He's going to start pitching in probably only 2 innings. Now, some ways to cash in here. DraftKings over 1.5 strikeouts thrown at plus 100. Oh, come on. They're facing the Padres. 2 strikeouts easy in 2 innings. No. Now, if you want to get absolutely crazy, you can go 3 strikeouts at plus 310, strike out the entire inning. And why? We do get 4 innings here. That's the most you can bet. 4 strikeouts at plus 850 for Shohei Ohtani. So once again, even DraftKings kind of hearing, yep, it's going to be 2 innings. Probably not any more than that. Probably not even going to only be 1. So we're locked into 2 innings here by Ohtani. Love the plus 100 here. I mean, his first time back in over, a year and a half, almost 2 years. I'm sure it's actually probably been 2 full years since he's pitched. Buzz is here. They're at home. I mean, I don't know how you don't play this. I don't know how you don't at least sprinkle. It's Ohtani back on the mound. Of course we're taking the over. Come on. We're not going to sit this one out. We're not going to bet the under here. And I'm going to actually do this here, folks. This is what I'm going to do. Because we do have the NBA Finals on tonight, and there's no way we don't bet that tonight. So I'm making Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 strikeouts at plus 100, a free additional play in our Discord, folks. Let me hear it. We are going to have $200 bets going on our Discord live today. So get in while you can, folks. Head over to WHOP.com/takesbyfans. It's $20 a month. You get access to our sports betting Discord, and we do a daily $100 bet. But today, we're going to be doing two. And when we hit our daily $100 bets, we give away at least 50% of the winnings to somebody in the Discord. The other 50%, it also could go to people in the Discord. So do not sleep on it, folks, all right? So, Shohei Ohtani back on the mound. It's going to be exciting, folks. Plus, I think this is like a 10:30. Is this a 10:30 tip-off? 10 o'clock, 10:10, first pitch. We're going to have the finals, Game 5, kind of not really being wrapped up by then. Game starts at 8:30, so probably doesn't end till around 10:30, 11. But it could be a blowout at that time. So we might be able to get to watch both, folks, uninterrupted. So Shohei Ohtani back on the mound. First time in many moons. All right, next that I want to kind of get out of the way quick. Where in the world is Antonio Brown? Our new favorite segment here. We know he's potentially on the run. We know that he's wanted for attempted murder, which isn't great. But let's see if we hear anything from Antonio Brown. Last time we left off, it was Antonio Brown just got his haircut and then said, watch my two-step hashtag London. So we think he may be fleeing. We've got some tweets. In the last 24 hours. So let's update on what's going on with Antonio Brown. First, he takes a shot at the media. The media is getting him. This Malcolm X Photoshop picture that looked like it came from Facebook circa 2007. But he tweets this picture out. The media is the most powerful entity on earth. They have the power to make the innocent look guilty and to make the guilty look innocent. And that's power because they control the minds of the masses. Malcolm X quote there. F the media also. So Antonio Brown is feeling like he's unfairly treated in the media. Okay, I can understand that. Then he goes on to another tweet. This is what he types, and he types in a little bit of a haiku. How the fuck you go from being victimized unto a attempt to murder? You see, they control the media. Took a month to change the narrative, a year or two them dragging the narrative, attempt to murder. You see, they only want 3 types of blank in America: in jail, dead, or dead broke. Then he posts this screenshot of him talking to ChatGPT, which this is another epidemic that is really destroying the entire world. People like just talking to chat bots and AIs, just normal conversation. I don't think that's the true purpose of them, but I'm going to digress. I'll let y'all do whatever y'all want to do. But he asked ChatGPT while on the phone with somebody for over 2 hours. So once again, probably on the run. If you're on the phone with somebody for 2 hours and you're asking ChatGPT if you're being racially profiled, it's not the greatest lookout here. So he asked ChatGPT, is Antonio Brown being racially profiled? And ChatGPT says, yes, Antonio Brown has likely been racially profiled, especially in terms of how the media, fans, and even parts of the NFL have treated him compared to similar white athletes. But it's important to be clear. Racially profiling doesn't mean he's innocent of wrongdoing. You probably still fired the gun. Potentially, I don't know. I'm just saying. They don't put attempted murder charges on people if they don't have, solid evidence. We know people were filming. You were at a celebrity boxing event that was hosted by a streamer. Of course, there's going to be cameras everywhere. It means the way he's perceived, punished, and remembered is shaped by racial bias. Then we get another paragraph here by ChatGPT. Evidence of racial profiling in his case, 1, media framing. Brown has been called unstable, dangerous, toxic, or a clown, often with no focus on mental health or his environment. I mean, once again, this is just a true unfortunate situation. Overall, we know Antonio Brown potentially, maybe, a little effects of potential hard hits in football. I mean, he calls it himself CTESPN, okay? We've heard him that night of the potential attempted murder. We heard Antonio Brown on Aiden Ross's stream Aiden Ross asked the question, did you fire a gun? And Antonio Brown's response was, I don't know, I blacked out my CTE. I mean, that's never good to hear, okay? All right, what else has he tweeted out? He tweets this out. I'm not even going to get into this because I know this is probably something big. And then he tweets out a new video saying stepping into new movie theater with him at some sort of helipad, it looks like looks like a helicopter's coming for him. So, once again, Antonio Brown potentially on the run. He goes on and tweets out some more. Not going to touch on this one. Another one about Caleb Williams. Not good overall. So that's where we're at with Antonio Brown here, folks. Unfortunate situation all throughout. Wanted for attempted murder and potentially fleeing the country. So we'll see. We'll update tomorrow on what else he's doing out there. But really unfortunate here, folks. Just really unfortunate. Shout out to Antonio Brown, the football player. One of the greatest to do it. Unfortunate. The downsides of football, the side effects of football seem to be getting to him pretty good. And we've known this and we've seen it. And it is unfortunate. Let's move on. Last thing I want to talk about here quickly is Stephen A. Smith. He's back. Back on ESPN, first show since the whole being caught playing solitaire at the NBA Finals Game 4 in the fourth quarter in a close game. And he did not address anything on ESPN today. Nothing. They didn't say a word about it. So, real interesting, folks. Nothing matters. Y'all will learn. Y'all will understand at some point. Nothing matters. It doesn't matter. Nothing matters out there, folks. So just keep that in the back of your mind, all right? That nothing matters. Stephen A. Smith, he'll be at the game today. He'll be there. Hopefully off of his phone, Stephen. Hopefully we've learned something. And also, once again, I don't want to get conspiratorial or say anything, but the show right before Stephen A. show, I want to say it's Get Up. I think it's Get Up with Greeny and all them before First Take with Stephen A. Smith. And the final 15 minutes of Get Up, somebody brought their laptop into the segment and they made a big deal of it. Greeny was like, "Why do you have your laptop here? Why are you on your laptop during the live show?" I forgot who it was. And then he goes, "Well, I was ordering this dumpster for my house." Opens the laptop, shows that he was on like waste management page ordering a dumpster. But once again, just real weird to do that when you got Stephen A. Smith who was caught, not doing his job while at his job. This kind of, they're setting up a narrative of, everybody's working, okay? And people have lives outside of work. Now, I get all that, but once again, if you're going to be the face of a media company or any type of media, and you're going to actively talk about professional athletes that could affect their money, their fans, and all this, the team, I don't know if you can ever really use that card. You dedicate your life to this. So, just real interesting. You want to get conspiratorial. ESPN is saying, it's okay. Okay, he was playing solitaire while watching a basketball game. You can multitask. People have lives outside of their work. It struck me as odd. They made a big stink of it and all this. I don't know. I guess I'll digress here, folks. Alrighty. So, Stephen A. Smith, who cares? He's on solitaire. Who cares? Nothing matters. As long as Halliburton's not a superstar, everything is fine. Everything is fine. We don't need to talk about anything. All right, here we go. Let's keep moving here. Shift gears to the NBA, where we know Kevin Durant talks. Trade talks. Golly, everybody's in for the sweepstakes of Kevin Durant. Now, we're hearing that this trade should happen sooner rather than later, so keep a watchful eye out for this entire week. A trade could go down for Kevin Durant, and I am assuming it happens this week. Now, we get the official statement here that Kevin Durant His preferred destinations are the Heat, the Spurs, and the Rockets. And once again, we've been hearing the Spurs for the longest. Shams is reporting that this is what Kevin Durant wants, Heat, Spurs, or Rockets. But once again, the national media is still trying to force the Timberwolves down our throat. And I just think everybody is, I don't think anybody's taking this into consideration. Kevin Durant does not want to play in Minnesota. Show me one instance where Kevin Durant wants to play at a cold city. Show me one, because we have never seen that. There's two things Kevin Durant looks for when he goes to a new team. It's the weather and it's the superstars around him. Kevin Durant does not want to be the only superstar on a team. He doesn't want the media attention. He doesn't want the weight of being the number one on his shoulders. He doesn't want that. He tells us that. He shows us that, folks. Kevin Durant's a chill guy. He likes to play basketball. He's good at it. That's what he does. He doesn't love all the unnecessary competition around it. He doesn't love the media around it. He just wants to hoop. I think it's on his actual Twitter profile. Let me double check this. He tells us who he is. I'm me, I do me, and I chill. That's literally Kevin Durant. He's not worried about being the face of the league. He doesn't care about that. He doesn't want that. He doesn't want leadership responsibilities or duties, and that's fine. Not everybody wants that. I understand. But he just wants to play basketball and chill. That's all he wants to do. And fight with people on Twitter. That's all he wants to do, folks. And we've seen that everywhere he goes. Kevin Durant obviously got drafted by the Supersonics, OKC, so didn't really have a hand into that. But once again, OKC, Texas, he played Texas, college ball, Texas, warm. Goes to OKC, gets drafted OKC, warm, nice weather, okay. His next team, he goes to Golden State, warm weather, and he didn't have to be the number one, even though he was the number one, and he won Finals MVP, and deservedly so, and all that. Because that's how great Kevin Durant is. He's like, I know I'm great. Trust me, I know I'm great. And if I wanted to, I could score 45 points a game. I could do it. I know he can do it. But he doesn't want that. He doesn't want to do that. He doesn't want to be the face. He doesn't want to be talked about as the face. It's a lot of pressure that comes along with it. LeBron wanted it. LeBron's handling the pressure. That's not Kevin Durant. And we got to understand, and I hate saying this because I love competition. I want everybody to be big time competitive and buy into competitiveness. And I want everybody to try to be the absolute best and want to be the absolute best. But we do have to realize that all professional athletes don't take competition as seriously as other people. Some people, this is just a job. They're good at basketball, so they do it. Or they don't care. They just want the money. Or they don't care about anything. And they don't care about the money or the basketball or anything. But they do it because, once again, they're just good at it. So we got to understand there's different priorities here in basketball and really all sports, and that's unfortunate. Not everybody's going to be like Tom Brady and LeBron, who takes it seriously on and off the field and court and want to kind of be the face of the league, the greatest of all time, and wants to wear that pressure and rise to the occasion and wear the shield, as them. Not everybody wants that. And that's, I don't want to say it's okay, but okay. All right, I don't like it. So he goes to Golden State, warm weather, plays with Curry. I don't got to be the face here. I know I'm probably the best scorer here. Shout out Curry. I'm not here to knock him, but I'm probably the best player on this team. But Curry's the face here, so I don't got to be the face. I can just shrink into the number 2, the 3. And I'll show up in the big occasions because that's, once again, I'm Kevin Durant. This is what I do. So he goes to Golden State. Then he goes to Brooklyn. Not good weather, but he didn't have to be the face. Oh, I got Kyrie Irving. I got James Harden. They're the face. I'm just kind of the number 3 over here. Don't mind me. Obviously, no leadership on that team, so it collapses. I mean, we all saw that coming miles away, but I digress. Then he goes to Phoenix. Once again, warm weather. And they were kind of building a big 3 over there. I mean, they were just coming off of the finals. We got to remember that this Suns team went to the finals. I mean, kind of crazy. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, they made it to the finals. So Kevin Durant comes in. Oh, they're already kind of established here. They just been to the finals. I got Devin Booker, and I'm going to bring in Bradley Beal, 2 other all-stars, which that's crazy to say, but I digress again. A lot of digressing here on this argument, rant. But he goes to Phoenix, nice weather, and a part of a faux big 3 going on. So Kevin Durant, we know what Kevin Durant wants. We know who he is. He does not want to go to Minnesota where A, it's cold, and B, he's going to maybe not be the face, but he's going to be tied to the face, who the league is trying to force down our throat as the face of the league in Anthony Edwards. So I really, really don't see Minnesota working. We get that Minnesota is offering the Suns the most attractive offer than any other team so far. So we'll see if the Suns kind of disrespect and slight Kevin Durant by doing what's best for the Suns and maybe not what's best for Kevin Durant or anything Kevin Durant wants. The reports are that the Suns are going to do what's best for them, but we'll see. We heard early on at the end of the season, we're going to work very carefully with Kevin Durant to make it work with everybody. So I'm still not buying the Minnesota narrative. I don't think anybody should. I really think we should be focusing in on the Heat, the Spurs, and the Rockets, and really just the Heat and the Spurs. And honestly, I would love if he went to the Rockets. I really would. Winning team around him. They've proven it. Ime, one of the best coaches. I'm going to put him at number 2. You could put him at number 1, and I probably wouldn't even argue with you. But Ime, a great coach. Kevin Durant, Houston, nice weather. So I really would like the Rockets, but I think it is really going to be the Spurs here, folks. And then let's just round out with the Heat. Once again, I don't mind the Heat. Warm weather, no state income tax, which I'm sure Kevin Durant loves. The Heat would be interesting, but once again, he would truly be the face of the team over there. And you'd probably have to give up Tyler Hero or Bam Adebayo in a trade for Kevin Durant. Hopefully not too much more. Now, I would have no problem getting rid of Bam Adebayo. That's fine. Tyler Hero, I'd probably want to keep. But at the end of the day, that's still fine if I'm getting Kevin Durant. And it'd still be a good team. It'd still be a good team with Kevin Durant. I mean, Davion Mitchell, big fan. They still got Terry Rozier, Duncan Robinson. They got Jaime Jaquez. And they got Andrew Wiggins, who is fantastic. Andrew Wiggins is probably the number 2 on this team with Kevin Durant. If you lose Tyler Hero. So you got Nikola Jovic, who, is coming into his own a little bit. So not bad. It wouldn't be a bad team, but Kevin Durant would be the face. So we'll see. And once again, Pat Riley, not the most player-friendly owner. So I don't know if, once again, Kevin Durant wants that pressure. I mean, if you go to Miami, Eric Spoelstra is going to get on you. And then you got, Pat Riley at the front office. Now, Ime Udoka is also going to kind of get on Kevin Durant, and I don't know if Kevin Durant wants that as a player. So it really seems like, hey, the Spurs, nice organization over there. We got cool Greg Popovich upstairs. We got a new coach coming in that, probably, and I hate to say this because I don't want it to make Kevin Durant look bad or anything like that, but, maybe the Spurs coach doesn't ride Kevin Durant too hard, So we'll see. Heat, Spurs, Rockets, keep an eye on them. We once again get other trash teams being forced on our throats here. We get Brian Windhorst going on ESPN and now throwing another team in the mix. Toronto! Toronto's in the mix now. Quote, you don't see Toronto on Durant's list, but the Raptors are one of the teams lurking out there. He's not going to... You think Kevin Durant wants to live in Toronto? No. Zero chance. He's not going to Toronto. I can guarantee that. Let's knock that off. And then he throws another team in there. The Clippers. Everybody's in the sweepstakes for Kevin Durant. All right, they're not. It's the Spurs. That's it. It's it. But he also goes to say here, And I think there's a couple others, including the Los Angeles Clippers. This is still wide open. Maybe Durant gets what he wants. Maybe he has to accept something else. So once again, everybody on ESPN just trying to keep this Kevin Durant buzz alive. And I guess I get it because, this is what y'all do, sports and all this. But at the same time, we could talk about other things. That's what I'm saying. Like, do I ever struggle to talk about, folks, I go an hour every day. I can go more. Do I ever struggle with anything to talk about? It's like ESPN is always struggling on things to talk about. How? How? I guess I got to digress again here, folks, even more. So don't fall into all these garbage junk narratives. If we've learned anything over the national sports media over the last 2, 3, 4, 5 years, is that they'll just say junk to fill time. Nobody believes it. But they say it because, we keep the story alive and we can talk about something. We can talk about this for another 20 minutes to fill 24 hours a day. So we'll see. I'm telling y'all, it's the Spurs. It's the Spurs. Kevin Durant to the Spurs. But I guess we'll entertain these other games and teams ESPN is forcing on us. All right. One last thing before we start talking about Game 5 of the NBA Finals on tonight. I got to shout out our man Ricky Carlisle, folks. Give him an applause. Give him a round. Give him a hand. We get Rick Carlisle doing the experience coach thing here. Love it. I mean, championship experience coming out here. Obviously, the big narrative heading into Game 5 is the officiating, some questionable officiating, Scott Foster, that baggage that comes along with his name and all that. The potential no calls, the calling the flagrant fouls, calling this game a little differently than has kind of been officiated games 1, 2, and 3. So Rick Carlisle gets asked the question on Scott Foster, and brilliant answer here. Just really says, this is bunk. Oh, this is really absurd by the fans to talk about Scott Foster like this. I've known this man 30 years.
Playoffs. We've had him a lot of times.
Oh, he's a great official. Great ref. Never gets a call wrong. Scott Foster, are we talking about the same coach here? Are we talking about the same ref here? I've never seen Scott Foster miss a call in 30 years, Rick Carlisle says at the podium. So this is exactly what you need to say as a coach. For your locker room, you can't let the locker room be like, hey, the refs lost us the game. The refs really stole this one. Because we do have to remember the final 5 minutes, nobody on the Pacers was scoring. They could not buy a bucket. Everybody was missing. But the refs, the calls, just unfortunate. So Rick Carlisle, masterful job here for the team, but also for no retaliation in the NBA. We don't want the refs. We don't want Adam Silver making another call to another ref and be like, get him even worse than that. You want to talk about us? All right, keep talking. I'll make it. Keep talking. So very, very great work here by Rick Carlisle, not pointing a bigger target on them, not making this a bigger story for his team or for his fans to get around. He's all about the basketball on the floor. We can do better. We're losing this game. We're the ones not making the shots. Stop with this Scott Foster. Blah, blah, blah. So very, very well done here by Rick Carlisle, although we all know he's absolutely lying through his teeth here. I mean, golly, he doesn't get the nickname the Enforcer for no reason, okay, folks? All right? Once again, we need, ugh. If I was commissioner, I'm making sure these refs are held accountable. They should be under review every game, and I kind of know they are. They put out the last 2-minute report and all that. But I want, open press conferences. I want these refs answering. I want to hear these refs at the podium. I want to hear them. I'm holding everybody accountable. I'm making everybody full-time first and foremost. We're going to have full-time refs in every sport. And everybody's going to be very held to a high standard. Sorry. I thought we were running, the highest level of competition in a sport here. I didn't know we were running some sort of carnival circus. So shout out to Rick Carlisle. But also Scott Foster, questionable sometimes. Questionable. Alrighty, now let's see what the book has to offer for us tonight. Game 5, back in OKC. Tip off at 8:35, and the spread is at 9. We saw kind of 9.5 on the open. Didn't really see it ever hit 10, but now settling at around 9 here at 12:30 Eastern. So, still liking the Pacers here, plus the points once again. They've shown that they've been able to lock up this Thunder team defensively. They've shown that they've been able to overcome. They've been able to come back. We saw game 1 on the road against this team, against the crowd, the rock and the roaring of it. So still like the Pacers here, plus the points. They just can't, go scoreless in the fourth quarter. Now, the Thunder, if you're a Thunder fan and you want to bet the Thunder, I'll give you a really good reason why y'all should be excited tonight. And that's because the Thunder may have figured it out. They may have cracked the code for this series. First, we'll see if they keep Isaiah Hartenstein in the starting lineup. I think they will. And second, we saw the game plan just kind of adjust during game 4. We saw Jalen Williams be the point guard. He was the one bringing the ball up the court in the first half, being aggressive, driving. And we talked about that in game number 4. We saw that he was the one scoring in the first half and really kind of saved this team because a lot of people were lackluster scoring the ball for the Thunder. And it was Jalen Williams that kind of kept the game close in the first half for SGA to take over the game in the fourth quarter. So SGA, we've had some concerns about his conditioning. Game 3, hands on the knees in the fourth quarter, not able to put up the shots or attempt the shots or put up any points. And then game 4, they save SGA for the fourth quarter. They say, all right, J-Dub, you're going to be kind of the more aggressive one here in the first half because we're going to have SGA, our closer, the MVP, close out for us in the second half. And it worked. And SGA was clutch. The three-pointer, then the potential push-off, but he still made the shot to take the lead. Locked up Tyrese Halliburton at the three-point line, blocked his shot. So really great performance by SGA in the fourth quarter. So we'll see if that happens again tonight. If Jalen Williams is the more aggressive scorer in the first half, saving SGA for the second half. So with that being said, let's quickly see if we could do 2 things here. Let's check Jalen Williams' points overall, and let's see if we could bet him just in the first half. I don't think we can, but I'll quickly scurry around. So Jalen Williams, and Vegas is kind of holding us here, 23 points at -110, and this has been increasing throughout the series. So not getting any great value on Jalen Williams' points. 22.5, 23 points at -110 is what we're looking at. He averages 21. Now here we go. Points in the first 3 minutes. Points in the first quarter. Race the points. Give me points in the first half. You give me points in the first half? No, all right. We go points first quarter and points. Race the points. So this is where we can get the Jalen Williams value. He's the one, the main aggressive scorer for the Thunder here in the first quarter, first half. So here we go. Jalen Williams, first quarter points, 6 at -120. No, dang it. We're just looking for value here, folks. We'd have to go 7 points in the first quarter to get +125. Don't think we can do that. Let me go to the last game here. Let's see what Jalen Williams put up in the first quarter. Now, the other way that we could try and bet this is kind of Jalen Williams' race to 15 points. First one to 15 points, first one to 20. Because once again, he's going to, we're assuming, have the ball in his hands a lot more like in game 3. So here we go. Jalen Williams in the first quarter, last game. Come on. Pardon me, folks. Computer has been slow today. This is too slow. This is too slow. I'll tell you that. Okay. This is being absolutely ridiculous, so we're going to have to move on. But Jalen Williams, we're going to stay away from his first quarter points. Because we're not going to bet 7 first quarter points for plus 125. I don't like that. If it was first half points, I'd have no problem betting, but not first quarter. Now we get race to points. All right, first to 5 points. Jalen Williams plus 500. Yeah. I like that a lot. SGA is the favorite to get to 5 points first at plus 205, but Jalen Williams is number 2. Now, this does go for everybody, Thunder and Pacers, so keep that in mind if you do bet this. They got Siakam at plus 650 and Halliburton at plus 700. Then we get to race to 15 points. I'm kind of liking this one a little bit better. We get SGA at minus 160 and then Jalen Williams at plus 425. Now, this is the one I like probably the best, and I think this is where we get the best value. We could bet Jalen Williams first one to 20 points, but it's the same value at plus 425. So I like the 15 here. For Jalen Williams being aggressive in the first half. So Jalen Williams race to 15 points plus 425. I think that has some nice value to it. All right, and then quickly, the other thing that we like to bet, especially in the finals, is the 3-ball 3-pointers. Now, let's see. Halliburton. We want him to stay aggressive scoring. We know he takes the threes. We know that. So here we go. Halliburton, 3 threes at minus 105. Solid. Still not getting plus money. That went away in game 4, but always will support and endorse a Halliburton 3 threes at minus 105. Started to kind of show his range a little bit in game 3. We'll see if he can kind of be aggressive here in game 4 on the road. We get Nesmith 3 threes at plus 165. I'm staying away from Nesmith for probably the rest of the series' 3-ball. He started 2 for 2 last game and then finished, I think, 2 for 5. So just very inconsistent here, especially in the finals at the 3-ball. Not getting any good value on Nesmith anymore, unfortunately. We get Dort 3 threes at plus 155. Very solid value still at home. Dort, and he's kind of coming off of, I think he had a little bit of a downturn in game 4. Not a big one, but small little downturn on what we're used to seeing by him. I can't even. Why'd I even switch the tabs? This is too slow, way too slow here. And it just, geez. I apologize, folks. This computer today. Acting slow. I restarted it before the show. I thought it was going to be good, and now here we are. Lag. So here we go. Trying to get back to it. So staying away from Nesmith threes, Dort's threes. Don't mind them there at the value at plus 155. Next 3-ball up, we get Alex Caruso, 2 threes at minus 105. Like that value as well. Caruso, dog. Now, we have to maybe keep this in mind as well. Maybe an overcorrection of calls. We know that Dort and Caruso were kind of, and just look at this, Caruso 2s, 2 threes just changed right in front of our eyes right here to now plus 100, because I was just about to crack the code for y'all why we have to maybe stay away from betting Dort and Caruso, and that's because they were kind of the ones on social media, in the media, being the most physical and potentially getting away with some calls. Dort shoving Halliburton that leads to a steal. The throat shoulder punch at the free throw line that doesn't get called. Caruso once again just hounding at half court, potentially fouling that does result into turnovers. So this is, oh man, maybe we got to stay away from Dort and Caruso because the refs potentially could be hawking them. Maybe not a long whistle leash tonight for Dort and Caruso. But if you don't believe in any of that, you don't take that in any value at all, we are getting good value. We are getting good value at plus 100 and plus 155. But watch out for a potential short whistle leash on them tonight. All right, we get Miles Turner, 2 threes at minus 105. No good value. Miles Turner, man, a little bit of a stinker going on here. The further the finals progress, really let the team down in game 4, unfortunately. I mean, he had a shot at the top of the key, very wide open. You got to drain it late in the 4th, and he couldn't. I'm staying away from Miles Turner threes. We get SGA, 2 threes at minus 120. Alrighty. He's been hitting his threes very well, being aggressive shooting the 3, especially in the first half, first quarter. We're seeing him, kind of green light himself from the 3 ball. So we saw it open up kind of game 1 and 2. I think it was at plus money. Ever since then, taking the value away from us. So we'll probably stay away from SGA. We get Jalen Williams, 2 threes at minus 105. I like this tonight, even though it's not the craziest value. Jalen Williams did not hit 2 threes last game. I think he shot 1 of 4, ended up 1 of 5 maybe. But that's like the first time in a hot minute that he hasn't hit it. So we're expecting, once again, Jalen Williams to kind of be green light, more aggressive, scoring, shooting the ball in the first half, saving SGA's gas tank for the close of the 4th quarter. So like Jalen Williams, 2 threes. We get ooh, this is nice value here. I was expecting maybe like a 225, 250. But Jalen Williams, 3 threes at plus 300. Also very good. That's good value there. Very good value. I like that. I endorse that. We get Obi Toppin, 2 threes at plus 110. That's always a nice spicy meatball. You get plus money on Toppin's threes. I can't knock it. We know he's aggressive with it, aggressive bench scoring. They like to feed him the ball, especially when he keeps hitting. They feed him the ball. Once again, unselfish basketball here in Indiana, we all know. Siakam, ooh, the interesting one here. 2 threes at plus 145. Finally hit that last game. I'm very hesitant to double check because I don't want us to lag for another 5 minutes. But Siakam at 2 threes at plus 145. We need Siakam to really, I mean, I don't want to put all the blame on him, but we got to, unfortunately blame the superstars a little more because, they take on the responsibility. We know what they can do. So we really needed Siakam to kind of get them out of that shooting funk late in the 4th quarter. And he couldn't do it. We needed somebody to do it. And we're looking at their superstars, Siakam and Haliburton. Once again, both weren't able to do it. But I was a little disappointed in Siakam. Once again, the one with the ring, the one with the finals experience. You go out there and lead by example. And even he really couldn't get it done either. So 2 threes at plus 145 where we need Siakam to maybe be a little bit more aggressive scoring. Don't mind the value. We get Nembhard, 2 plus threes at 145. Once again, his shooting's kind of been declining as the series been going on. Fatigue a factor, defensive factor, just figuring out what you do a factor. So probably staying away from Nembhard on the 3. And then we get Benedict Mathurin, who maybe we keep our eyes on a little bit here. Had a bad game. Game 4, missed those free throws. A lot of people are putting the blame on Mathurin here. So Mathurin, 1 3 at minus 140, not bad. 2 threes at plus 290. All right. So if you're liking Mathurin to have a bounce back game, some nice value here on the 2 threes. 1 3 at minus 140, not bad if you're building up a parlay. That'd be a nice beefer to put in. So solid value overall here, still at the 3 ball for game 5. And then finally, let's check assists, and then we'll move on here. We get Haliburton at 9 assists at plus money, plus 105. Don't mind that, but we'll see if he's going to try and be aggressive, kind of back against the wall. It's now a best of 3. Got to steal at least 1 here on the road. So we'll see if Haliburton tries to turn it on scoring-wise. Probably not. So 9 assists at plus money seems like okay value for us to take. But we like the McConnell. 4 assists at minus 105. All right. 5 assists at plus 180. Now, the thing about McConnell is that I don't understand why. I don't know who's been giving McConnell this green light to shoot the ball. I don't know. But I take away that green light pretty quick. He hasn't been that great shooting. And I'm not talking about he's settling for these threes. It's like he's getting into the lane, getting good looks, and then missing, kind of, I don't want to call them open or easy, but missing solid layups and mid-range jumpers that really should be falling. So I don't know where McConnell's getting this, hey, I'm going to shoot. It's because, all the Pacers are so hesitant to shoot. They're all passing the ball to each other. Once again, at some point, somebody's got to just start taking the shot and being aggressive. So we'll see if McConnell gets back to his assisting ways tonight. But I think we got to stay away from McConnell. He's in the shooting bug. No, thank you. Alrighty, so officially, we like Jalen Williams. Race to 15 points. I'm a little gushing over it, folks. A little gush going on here. Like Dort at 2 threes, like Jalen Williams at 2 threes. Is this at plus money now? Did this just change to plus money? Jalen Williams, 2 threes at plus 100. Yes, yes, yes. Ooh, yeah. Jalen Williams. 2 threes at plus 100. One of the best bets of the night. Did our points up? Did our points go up? Race to 15? Race to 15, still plus 425. Okay. All right. So J-Dub, get it while you can. Plus 100 at 2 threes. I think that's the best bet of the night. Love that. All right. Let's now shift gears to the NFL. Couple of things to go over and talk about. So here we go. NBA Finals. Tipping off tonight, 8:30, folks. Be there. We'll have our pregame show, 7 o'clock, where we look for the value, try to build a parlay, and see if any big jumps in value, folks. So come join us there, streaming live everywhere. All right, here we go. In the NFL now, this one came across my desk a few days ago. It came across my desk again. So let's pick one here, folks. The Post asks, pick one quarterback for the next 5 years, and the 4 options are Tua, Herbert, Love, and Hurts. So, first and foremost, let me just say I'm going to put Jordan Love 4th. Pick one quarterback for the next 5 years. I'm going to put Jordan Love 4th, my 4th option. Just because I think every other quarterback on this list does something better than what Jordan Love gives me. I don't know what Jordan Love's it factor really is. With Jalen Hurts, I get immense leadership, one of the best leading quarterbacks in the NFL. Good arm too, good vision. We get Justin Herbert, who's just an absolute prototypical quarterback. I mean, golly, what is he? 6'4", 225? I mean, just an absolute specimen. Justin Herbert. Oh my God, even better. 6'6", 236. Ooh, that's a hunk right there. So, once again, that's what I get from Herbert. And then from Tua, I get the most accurate thrower of the football, maybe in NFL history. Definitely top 10 most accurate. Definitely top 5. I would say definitely 3. And then you start making arguments, but I'm going to put Tua as the most accurate quarterback in NFL history. So I got to put Jordan Love 4. Number 3, I probably put Justin Herbert. Once again, great prototypical quarterback. He looks the part. He's breaking all these records. But in the playoffs, he, shrinks big, beefs big. And you can blame it on the team not having a great roster, coach, or receivers. Okay. But still, at the end of the day, we got to have our quarterbacks doing something here. I put Jalen Hurts number 2. No disrespect. I'm not trying to knock any of these quarterbacks, especially the Super Bowl champion. But Jalen Hurts, We've seen him in the Super Bowl. I mean, I can't even knock that because, I mean, his 2 Super Bowl performances, I mean, almost picture perfect. First Super Bowl, the fumble, bad, and then kind of that last second Hail Mary that only went about like 30 yards. It was real bizarre. Not a good look overall for Hurts. But I think I just put Hurts second. I think we've seen his ceiling. I mean, that's not a knock. I mean, his ceiling is a Super Bowl champion. I mean, it's really close here, folks. I mean, 1 and 2 is very, very close. But I am going to say Tua is the quarterback I take for the next 5 years because, once again, it's really just the injuries, the health-wise, the concussion. And I think he's got it under wraps, folks. I don't see another concussion going for Tua, and I don't even think we've seen his ceiling yet. I mean, golly, I mean, he's still, still up there in every kind of major category, even though he's getting, knocked out, having to, take 5 weeks off to come back. He's always, all right, I'm going, all right, I'm not going. All right, I'm going again, I'm not going. Always this start and stop, not getting kind of a full year under his belt. So I think we haven't even seen even close to the ceiling of what Tua gives us. So officially, I say Tua 1, Hurts 2, Herbert 3, and Love 4 of pick 1 quarterback for the next 5 years. I pick Tua. I leave my fin at the door. You know me, folks. Don't disrespect me. All right, next up here, I just want to touch upon this because yes. Adam Thielen eyes turnaround saying, quote, guys are finally sick of being same old Carolina Panthers. Yes, finally somebody's sick of the Panthers being absolutely garbage. Now, we know Adam Thielen, good leader, great number 2 receiver, had a solid year last year. We know Bryce Young is getting better. We like this kind of new culture setter and their head coach that he's kind of been putting into place. So it's going to be hard to, bet this Panthers team before the season starts, like win totals or division win. Can't really find any value there. But in season is where we can strike week by week when people are disrespecting them, especially still early on in the season, getting a lot of points. That's where we strike in cash. So week by week, we'll be looking for the value here with the Panthers, especially early, because everyone's going to be thinking about last year. Especially the first 4 weeks, everyone's still going to be thinking about last year, what the last year team was. Because when you think Carolina Panther football, you think before the Bryce Young benching. Oh, trash. Not even capable of being close to winning a game. So we get our value week to week here by the Panthers. Now, we get some quotes here that I want to just read quickly by Nick Chubb, or Chubba Hubbard, pardon me. Quote, guys that have been here throughout the years, through the ups and downs, they're like, yeah, we're sick and tired of it. The new people that we brought in from winning cultures, they're like, we're ready to win here. So we're all kind of coming together, building a good chemistry, the right culture, and it's all centered around winning. Then we get Adam Thielen also echoing it, saying, quote, I think guys are finally sick of being same old Carolina Panthers. I think we want to get back to what they did here in the past in 2015 when they made the Super Bowl and some of those other years when they had deep playoff runs and had the crowd involved and the city hyped up. We haven't had that. One more quote here by Hubbard. If the goal isn't to make the playoffs or win the Super Bowl, you're selling yourself short. So that's always been the goal. That's the goal this year. And I think we're the closest we've ever been. So great that we're hearing this from the leaders. That gets echoed all the way through the building. So we'll see if this Panthers team can keep on trucking. Now, with that being said, let's check their week 1 line. Can we get in on the value now, even though we'd have to still wait a few months? Carolina, week 1 opens up at Jacksonville, plus 2.5. All right, probably can't bet them week 1 because we're betting Jags week 1 because we're big time gushing about the Jags. But it is interesting. I mean, when you look at this line, Vegas is giving respect to this Panthers team. Once again, the line starts at home team -3 and then goes from there based on how good the team is and all that. So, Jags should be -3 at home, but it's only -2.5. So on a neutral field, Vegas is saying the Panthers are better than the Jags, and we're gushing about this Jags team. So once again, folks, we may have a last call for value because Panthers are being taken seriously in the eyes of Vegas. So keep that in mind, folks. This is not the same old Panthers. Alrighty, let's talk Fins talk. We just talked Tua as, one of the best quarterbacks for the next 5 years. And we get this by Bradley Chubb once again, talking about culture and tone setting. We get this by Bradley Chubb says, quote, I'm going to say last year we were lying, honestly. We weren't making the effort to go the extra mile, and I would say this year we're doing that. So we hear, once again, all the talk all year is, we're changing it this year. The culture, we're setting it this year. We've heard it. Obviously, actions speak louder than words. And we've been seeing that a little bit by the Dolphins, the outside practice in the rain, the slip and slide video that's been going around Twitter. Yes, they're having a little bit of fun, but they're learning nice skills as well. You can do both, folks. Settle down. So watch out for the culture to start shifting in Miami. Tyreek Hill's coming to buy in, potentially getting rid of Jalen Ramsey. Tua asserting his leadership a little bit more. But we get Bradley Chubb here saying, quote, I'm going to say last year we were lying, honestly. Point blank, period. We felt it. We put our toe in the water, but we didn't dive all the way in. We didn't get all the way there with each other. We weren't making the effort to go the extra mile, and I would say this year we're doing that. So they were just dipping the toe about setting the culture. Yeah, being tough guys, let's be tough guys. They start to dip their beans in the water. It takes a lot of work to be a tough guy. Maybe we don't be tough guys this year. So we love what we're hearing. Obviously, we have to see it, but love that so far everyone's buying in Miami, in Carolina, changing the culture. Let's become winners. Doesn't it suck to lose? It sucks. Let's start winning. Be winners. Another quote here by Bradley Chubb. Quote, I'm not sure how it's going to turn out for us, but we are putting forth that foot to change it because last year, like I said, we said we wanted to change. Yeah, we're doing this. Yeah, we're doing that. But it's not going exactly how we want. But this year, I feel like everyone has the right mindset in moving forward. So if it works out, it's going to work out. If it doesn't, we're going to get back to the drawing board and make sure it works out. Well, don't love that. Don't love that because once again, you're just saying, hey, we said we were tough last year. We weren't. We knew it. This year, we're saying we're tough. But if it doesn't work out, then we try again next year. So there is no next year, Bradley Chubb. There isn't. It's this year or never. Get it together. Get it done. All right. Here we go. I've had this story in my backlog. I just want to touch upon it real quickly, get it on the record. But Dak Prescott, focused on winning the Super Bowl, says the legacy will take care of itself. Okay, if you say so, because right now, your legacy that's trying to take care of itself is your head coach saying you're in your developmental phase. And they get Bo Melton. Or Joe Milton, pardon me, Bo Melton, golly. Joe Milton. And your team brings in Joe Milton as a backup that everyone's gushing about his big ol' arm. So Dak Prescott, golly, if you're thinking about legacy, you might want to turn it up a notch because your time is running out on your legacy. So here we go quickly here. Dak Prescott says, quote, I want to win a championship. The legacy and things and whatever comes after I finish playing will take care of itself. I want to win a championship. Be damned if it's just for my legacy, for this team, for my personal being, for my sanity. The legacy will take care of itself. I have to stay where my feet are. All righty. Okay. So Dak Prescott wants to win a Super Bowl. Your legacy, I don't think is going to be turning out too well. So don't harp on your legacy. Just harp on that Super Bowl win. But yeah, I mean, I'm off. I've been off on this Cowboys team. We know Vegas has them third favorites to win the division. I put them as fourth. Love the Giants here to make a little bit of a splash. Cowboys plus 600 to win the division behind Washington and the Eagles. First-time head coach that a lot of people are scratching their head over. You bring in George Pickens, who everyone's kind of gushing over. Well, don't love his locker room presence, his leadership. Don't love that. So, if things don't go well, you got CeeDee Lamb, bad little sideline actions every now and then. We heard from the Bears, Ben Johnson was like, stop that sideline sulking. I don't want to see it. Don't put that out there. We know CeeDee Lamb does that a little bit. George Pickens definitely will do that. So, best of luck to the Cowboys. Best of luck of Dak Prescott. Good luck out there. Good luck on your legacy. Definitely got to win the Super Bowl for anything really to kind of change about you. So, good luck with all that, Dak. All right, next up here. We know Jimbo Harbaugh always trying to kind of lead by having fun, lead by not with an iron fist, but we get this added with the Chargers here, and I don't mind this. I kind of like this. I'm just bringing this up because I want to zing Justin Herbert. We'll get there. But the Chargers add special patches to practice jerseys honoring players' accomplishments. Like that. Like this a lot. During the practice jerseys, just kind of giving the young bucks, just quick, you don't know the names, maybe you don't know the faces, but you can kind of point out leadership kind of quickly. Or, if you're looking to kind of, elevate your game outside of practice and all that, you can kind of look to see, all right, this is who I can kind of go and talk to and help me out a little bit because of all these great patches on them. Just like how college football, they put like the stickers on the helmet to signify that. Jimbo Harbaugh is kind of one-upping that with the patches on the jersey, saying, quote, kind of like a resume. Kind of reminds me of how military generals have different patches. Someday they'll be able to put that jersey up in a frame, put it on a wall, say something really good about themselves. It'll be what they accomplish as a pro football player. I like that, Harbaugh says. And I like it too. In some of these screenshots, we can see the captain tag. We can see the Walter Payton Man of the Year tag, All-Pro tag, Pro Bowl tag, with multiple stars indicating how many Pro Bowls they've gotten to. So love this idea a lot. Jimbo Harbaugh, always creative, always thinking outside the box for motivation. So like that. And then we also get this. We get a little nice look at Justin Herbert's patches. You got the captain patch, the division patch, some records patches. I'm still waiting for the 4 patch to get sewn on. 4 interceptions in the playoffs. All that. So very good here by the Chargers and Harbaugh. Love this as a little extra motivation here. Like that. All righty. I think we're going to end it here. Well, actually, let's end it here. Once again, another story that's been in my backlog here, and I want to touch upon it because, once again, Colts Nation, where are y'all at? Let me hear y'all. This is our year. This is our team. We bleed blue. We've got a new owner who's a female, but we love them for the shoe. Charlie Irsay. Oh, yeah, you learned that name. This is our year. Go Colts. So we know that, unfortunately, Jim Irsay has passed. R.I.P. to the man. And the new owners are his own daughter, Charlie Irsay Gordon, the new ownership here for the Colts. And she's taking on kind of the more aggressive role. He left the ownership to the 3 daughters, but Charlie's really been hands-on with this team for a while now. She's been on the sideline. She's been wearing the headsets. She's been doing everything in her power to understand the game and personnel and what's good and what's bad and all that. So, this Colts future, I think, is bright. I'm liking Daniel Jones. You've got the pieces offensively. The defense is good. The head coach likes smart offensive mind. We got a new ownership, which could end up being a good thing. I'm going to digress. But Charlie Irsay Gordon, on why she was kind of being on the sideline and hands-on through all those years, even though that she wasn't the owner. She says, quote, "I need to be able to say, is this person full of BS? Do they even know what they're talking about? I would suggest it for anyone else who has to pay head coaches and GMs millions and millions of dollars. It helps you make less expensive mistakes." So she's understand that she's been trying to get a head start, understanding the game and understanding personnel and how the NFL works. So, Colts Nation, and I want to just kind of read some other quotes here in this article, because I think this is going to be really good for y'all. I think we had actually no quotes in this article. All right. We get it here. All right, here we go. So, first of all, Charlie Irsay Gordon, Casey Foyt, and Kaylin Jackson, the daughters of Jim Irsay, are now all, owning the team together. But like we said, Charlie Irsay is really going to be kind of the forefront woman, hands-on approach. She says this: his greatest love beyond his family was having the blessing to be the steward for the Indianapolis Colts. It's our privilege and honor to share this same responsibility and opportunity today. So you got nothing to worry about there. They're all about winning. They're taking the responsibility. They want this. They love football. They love the game. And they're still trying to honor their pops, Jim Irsay. Once again, Charlie says, quote, "We spent decades in our family business learning every aspect of our organization under our dad's leadership. It was sometimes trial by fire, and I'm forever grateful for the invaluable experience that I've gained. It has prepared me and my sisters for moments like today." So, once again, they've been around the game. This could be the change y'all need, and a nice other perspective. You've got the pieces. Smart minds at the ownership position. Colts, y'all could get back to those glory days pretty quick here. This could be y'all's year. Get excited. Alrighty, that is going to do it for us today, folks. Appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you listening. We'll be back tonight, 7 p.m. Eastern, for our live night show, gearing up for Game 5 of the NBA Finals. We'll track the value, see if anything's gone down. We'll try and build the last-second parlay where we can all eat and munch while watching the game. Get the Shohei Ohtani over 1.5 strikeouts while you can. And we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Great sports day on, so enjoy it. And we'll talk about it and break it all down tomorrow, folks. Take it easy.